If you've ever been on Disney's Haunted Mansion, you know the scene I'm talking about. The grand ballroom, it's just filled with these amazing see-through ghosts waltzing around. They duel, they float, they phase right through a dinner table. It feels like some kind of crazy high-tech magic, right? But what if I told you the secret behind all of it isn't a hologram, it's not a projection, in fact, it's not digital at all?
So that's the big question, isn't it? How on earth do they pull this off? How are these ghosts so lifelike, so detailed, and yet, so ghostly? They're interacting with a real, physical room right there in front of you. For years and years, this has been one of the most brilliant and best-kept secrets in the whole world of theme parks. Well, here's the kicker. The answer has absolutely nothing to do with modern computers or projectors. The mind-blowing effect that powers that whole scene is actually a 160-year-old stage trick born in the gaslit theaters of Victorian London. No, I'm not kidding.
Okay, so we have to get into this, because the story behind the illusion is honestly just as cool as the trick itself. It's this classic tale of a brilliant inventor and, well, the savvy showman who actually made it famous.
So, let's meet the guys. Over on the left, you've got Henry Dirks. He's a civil engineer, and back in 1858, he invents this incredible optical illusion. But there was a huge problem. His design was so clunky and massive that you'd literally have to rebuild the theater to install it. So commercially, it was a total dud. Then in walks John Henry Pepper. Now, Pepper was a scientist, sure, but more than that, he was a rock star showman. He saw Dirks' invention, got it immediately, and figured out a genius way to tweak it so it would fit into any theater, anywhere.
And this quote from a newspaper back in 1863 just sums it all up perfectly. They said, "The ghost had two fathers. Dirks gets the credit for inventing it, for sure, but Pepper gets the credit for, as they put it, fitting him for mundane society. He's the one who actually got the ghost out of the lab and onto the stage for everyone to see." And Pepper's rollout was just pure marketing genius. He debuted this thing on Christmas Eve, 1862, inside a play based on a Charles Dickens story. I mean, come on, it was an absolute smash hit. Royalty came to see it, it kicked off this huge national craze for ghost plays, and the public instantly gave it a name that stuck: Pepper's Ghost. And this, of course, drove the original inventor, Henry Dirks, completely nuts. He felt like he'd been robbed of his scientific legacy, but the name was just too catchy.
Okay, so the history is amazing, but how does this old school trick actually work? Let's break down the science, because the idea behind it is so simple. It's kind of brilliant.
All right, first things first, let's get this out of the way because it's the #1 mistake people make. Pepper's Ghost is not a hologram. A hologram is a real three-dimensional image. This is much simpler. It's a two-dimensional reflection that just plays a fantastic trick on our eyes by using glass and light.
So here's how you cook up a ghost. Step 1, you take a giant, super clean pane of glass and you angle it at exactly 45 degrees between the audience and the stage. Step 2, you hide your ghost, for Disney it's an animatronic, in a totally blacked out room, which is usually right underneath the main stage. Step 3, you keep that main stage pretty dark. And then the magic moment. You hit that hidden ghost with a ton of bright light. The glass acts like a mirror, reflecting the ghost up onto the stage, and because the glass is also see-through, the ghost looks translucent. It's that simple.
So really, the whole secret, the entire illusion of ghosts appearing and fading away, it all comes down to one thing: lighting. That's it. You want to make a ghost appear? You just slowly turn up the lights on the hidden animatronic. Want it to vanish into thin air? You just fade those lights back down to black. It's pure, beautiful, analog magic.
So for a long time, this trick was mostly used at carnivals and magic shows. But then, in 1969, the geniuses at Disney Imagineering decided to take this old Victorian illusion and blow it up to an absolutely massive industrial scale.
And when I say massive, I mean it. They created a ballroom scene that's a staggering 90 feet long, and they did it using a single sheet of glass that's 30 feet tall. To this day, it is the biggest Pepper's Ghost illusion ever built. But trying to do it on that scale created a really big problem.
You see, the thing about this illusion is that it's super fussy about the angle you're viewing it from. It only works if you're in the perfect sweet spot. Now, the first plan for the Haunted Mansion was for it to be a walk-through attraction. Can you imagine? It would have been a total disaster. People would be looking from all the wrong angles, they'd see the edges of the glass, the magic would be gone. So they came up with a solution, and it's maybe the most important innovation on the entire ride: the Omni-Mover system.
Your Doom Buggy isn't just a vehicle, it's a moving theater that physically turns your head to face the exact right direction at the exact right moment, making sure the illusion is perfect for every single person, every single time. Now this is where it gets really interesting. The Imagineers didn't just use one trick, they used a whole bag of them. The ballroom ghosts, as we've talked about, use that classic Pepper's Ghost effect. It's a reflection. But then, think about the hitchhiking ghosts you see at the very end. That's a totally different trick. It uses a two-way mirror, so the ghost image is actually transmitted through the glass to join your own reflection. And then you've got Madame Leota, the head in the crystal ball. That's a third technique. They're simply projecting a film of a face onto a physical sculpture. So you've got three iconic ghosts, all created with three completely different illusions.
And here's a great little fun fact, a little tell that proves the ballroom scene is a reflection. Apparently, the Imagineers built the waltzing animatronics the proper way, with the male figures leading the dance. But they totally forgot that a reflection reverses the image. So if you look really closely at the final illusion in the ballroom, you'll see the female ghosts are actually the ones leading their male partners in the waltz.
So, Disney took this ghost and absolutely perfected it. But you know what? The story doesn't stop there. This Victorian illusion is actually still all around us today, hiding in some really surprising places.
I mean, just look at the incredible lifespan of this one simple idea. It starts on a London stage in 1862. 100 years later, in 1969, it's the star of a theme park ride. Then, in the 70s, the same basic principle gets adapted into the teleprompter. And fast forward to 2012, that hologram of Tupac that blew everyone's minds at Coachella, yep, just a super high-tech version of Pepper's Ghost.
And really, you probably see it every day without even thinking about it. That teleprompter a news anchor uses, it's reflecting text onto a piece of glass so they can look right at the camera. That heads-up display in some newer cars, it's reflecting your speed right onto the windshield. And yeah, those mind-bending, holographic concerts, not holograms. It's Pepper's Ghost, just with fancy new materials. It's the same 1862 trick, all dressed up.
So, from a dusty old stage trick in London to the masterpiece at the Haunted Mansion to bring musicians back to life at concerts, this simple, elegant idea has just proven to be totally timeless. It's just a great reminder that sometimes the most magical effects don't come from complicated code, they come from a really clever, simple understanding of light and glass. Which just leaves you wondering, after more than 160 years, what's the next chapter for this ghost going to be?